your one traffic and travel with Hyundai 162 Trade and Upgrade. Hyundai. Nothing feels like it, nothing drives like it, nothing's built like it.
The latest travel news from the AA in Donegal. The N13 Lifford Road into Letterkenny remains closed between the Manor roundabout and Dry Arch roundabout following an earlier crash. Emergency services are still dealing with that fire at the Globe Retail Park in Naas in Kildare. Smoke is affecting visibility on the M7 Dublin Limerick Road, with southbound delays from Junction 7 Kill to Junction 9 Naas North, and it's also slow on the Monreid Road, but both ways by the retail park, but particularly headed towards Salins. There's debris on the M4 Dublin Sligo Road between westbound at Junction 12 Kinnegad West in Dublin. That crash on the Naas Road outbound of the Lewis Park and Ride is partially blocking the auxiliary lane and traffic is busy there. And finally, emergency services have cleared an incident on the N2 northbound after Junction 2 St Margaret's Road. Arwen Foley, AA Road Watch.
Arwen, thank you very much. 9 minutes past 6 o'clock. A few weeks back we heard about the possibility of banning buskers with uilleann pipes on the capital streets. That didn't happen, but there's still plenty of bad feeling between the City Council and the street entertainers, so much so that the buskers are calling for a boycott of the permit required before they play. Brian Lally went to Temple Bar to hear the buskers and their gripes, and he first spoke to JURIJ, who was playing a Martin acoustic guitar.
One of attracts which really appreciate tourists in Dublin culture is Buskers. Street, I think it's perfect opportunity to just to check first yourself. I think that we still have to use amplifiers, because really
you need an amp because you've got a guitar, that's all.
It's necessary, because for example, if I used to play now acoustic guitar, you couldn't hear it. 2 meters maybe people could hear, but it's impossible really to play only with acoustic. A little bit amplification I still need, and particularly I use loop station, and people usually support. If you play nice, they usually support you and sell something nice, and financially it's really nice.
What about the permit system? Do you agree with that? Have you got a permit?
I had to buy last year a permit. Unfortunately, I don't know for what I pay, really, for what I pay. I really disagree, I personally, with those rules. I will support, guys.
I think it probably is a good thing for the people who live here.
We came from Germany, and I think in Germany it's also, we have rules for the people who make music on the street. It's super. I think it's for all the players, the music players, it's a chance to make their own music.
If they're good, they get paid. If they're not good, they don't get paid.
I think that's okay. So is it when they are good, you pay?
Are you going to give them a couple of euros now, maybe?
Yes, I can. Yeah. So I think he's good. Yes.
Maybe join him for a song.
Yeah.
There'll always be people who'll ignore the rules and set up anyway, but I think you can regulate it. So because otherwise you will have so many people that you won't be able to appreciate all the different artists. So if you space them out, then you can at least hear them as you walk up and down the street. That's how a lot of people get their start.
Of course, the new busking bylaws don't just apply to musicians and instrumentalists, they also apply to the so-called silent street entertainers as well.
It's tough. You try to just keep going as best you can and do what they ask, and one or two issues now with regards locations where you can work, and you sort of work around it. And
there's actually prohibited streets now around the city centre. I mean, that's just around the corner here from where we are now.
That's right. East Essex Street is prohibited. I used to work up there, and when the new law came in last year, that was it. I couldn't work up there anymore, so I just had to move and find a new location. You know, I was silent, so whoever's the problem, I don't know. It's like a big broom. It just sweeps all, you know. And I think self-regulation, some sort of self-regulation would be a good idea. I'd like to have in Liverpool and other cities where the buskers themselves have stewards that will go around and checking out volumes for the amplifiers with decibel readers.
Right, you can get these things for phones now. I mean, they little app on the phone.
I think it's an app on the phone. You don't need to buy anything, and you could regulate it, or sort of have a yellow card and a red card sort of system, and you know, it's not rocket science. We have the technology now.
Mr. Banker, Mr. Please,
COYNE, Dublin City Buskers, where's the beef? What's the problem?
The Dublin City Buskers organisation was set up to try and meet the council halfway and, we'll say, liaise with the residents and the businesses, come up with a solution. We're about solutions, not prohibition, not banning people, not banning instruments from the street. We're about compromise, we're about solutions. And one of those was that to busk in Dublin you would have to be a member of the Dublin City Buskers, which is free to join. In that way we would have some say as to who is actually on the street, and people who aren't following our code of conduct could be duly removed from the street. Now the council couldn't do that. All sides have to come together. That's why we suggested the Street Performance Forum, but it wasn't supported by the residents of Temple Bar. Their real issue down here in Temple Bar is noise. We stop at 11 p.m. After that, there's bars and nightclubs here till 2 o'clock in the morning.
You're living in the area yourself as well.
So what I'm suggesting is that the council follow their own recommendations and their own good practice guide for resolving complaints with noise, and let us come up with a solution. Now this was done quite successfully in Liverpool. The same issue was happening. If you don't have a permit, Dublin City Council can't talk to you. It's a bit similar to the Litter, Control of Litter Act. They've got to get on Garda Síochána to intervene, and the guards are very busy with actual crime and criminality rather than coming down on top of the buskers. We meet up on the last Sunday of every month. We say that we're here because it could be the last Sunday that we're here, and you know, surprisingly enough, next Sunday is going to be the last Sunday that we're allowed to play on Temple Bar Square. So all these people who said it's never going to happen, next Sunday is going to be the last blast on Temple Bar Square, and we're going to be there again from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. to try and raise awareness to what the council are doing.
That was Brian Lally in Temple Bar earlier on today. After the break, Fergal Keane in Philadelphia at the Democratic National Convention.